Today, I'll be sharing a fast and easy abstract art mandala, which is great mindful art for beginners, as part of our day 5 in our 5-minute mandala art challenge. There is a free workbook you can download below to get details about the challenge with the prompts. And today, our prompt is bloom. And so I'm going to be sharing in today's video tips around my own creative process, more details to spark creativity for your practice, as well as making meaning of your marks. And I'm going to share more details about the challenge and the contest as well. And so I've mainly been using ink and collage or ink and watercolor doodles as part of this challenge, although you can use any materials. Before I dive into my tips, I do just want to ask also for you to like or subscribe to the channel if this is resonating with you. You can also share these videos with others, and by liking the channel, it's a great way for more people to find these mindful art for beginners activities. So I do appreciate that. So I've spoken here on the channel already around working within a mandala shape or a circle helps us to have a container that we're already creating within. It can help you to begin without feeling so stuck with a blank page at the beginning. It can help because you can rotate the page and see the image from a lot of different perspectives. That's also really excellent anytime I find that you're working with abstract art. It's always a really nice thing to be able to rotate that mixed media mandala as you're working, so you can continue to look at the composition, but also specifically for mindful art activities and for beginners, it's a great way to just hone in your focus on the page and to focus here in the present moment. So I talk about mindful art, and a lot of times I get questions of, well, what is mindfulness? Mindfulness essentially is being present here in this moment, having that moment-to-moment self-awareness without judgment, so non-judgmental awareness. And it's not to say that we never have judgment about ourselves or about our artwork or having those critical thoughts. Instead, that's why I like to call it a practice, because as those thoughts come up, similar to noticing a cloud floating by in the sky, we might notice that critical thought about the mark we just made, and we may not be loving it. We'll notice that thought floating by and allow it to let go and to return back to the page. So similar to how I would often teach breath meditations and returning back to our breath as an anchor, instead, in this case, we're returning back to the page. So when you have distracting thoughts or critical thoughts, and they might be about your to-do list, they might be about the artwork itself, it might be about something that happened yesterday, that we simply return back to what's on the page in front of us with this curious, soft, non-judgmental noticing. And that might be noticing certain shapes or colors. It might be rotating the page and hearing the sound of the paper move on your table. It might be feeling the texture of the paper or noticing the temperature of the page or the table on your skin. So having these as different anchor points and cues as a practice to bring us back and back and back again to this present moment. And I like it to really name it as a practice so we can hold it a bit more softly and have more compassion for ourselves as we do this work. The other thing I like to mention is I get this question a lot around having a consistent practice. How can I create more consistently? Or a lot of you have been commenting during the challenge that you're surprised how much better you're feeling after working just for 5 minutes on a mindful mandala, or that you're finding this practice really calming and supportive and really simple and easy. And that's largely why I teach the 5-minute mindful art activities, because I found that that is a really nice way of building not only our creative habit, but also our mindfulness habit, really creating a habit for our self-care in a daily way. And so however we can make that more accessible for us, whether that's just doing it during a 5-minute break when we're at work and we're stressed out, or 5 minutes before bed to help us unwind, or 5 minutes first thing in the morning as part of our way to clear our minds before we start the day. However you can fit it into your day, I think is fantastic. And when I say clearing our mind to I think sometimes there's a myth that when we meditate or if we do mindful art that we don't have any thoughts at all. And I just want to say that that also is a myth. Instead, what's happening is we're just noticing our thoughts, not having attachment or judgment around them, and letting them go, and just continuing on to that next moment awareness, just the next moment, just the next mark, just this next breath. And so I have mentioned making meaning of our marks. I do have 2 different courses, one that has 30 different 5-minute mindful art experiments, the other course that has deeper dives into making meaning of your marks with your mindful mandalas. Both of those are linked in the description box below and are 30% off during the challenge. Stay tuned for my next video, as I will be announcing the 2 winners. One will each win one of the courses that I mentioned below as they participated in the 5-day Mandala Art Challenge. Definitely subscribe and click that bell notification so you can hear more, and I will see you in the next video.